It's Star Wars Sunday, and I wanted to go over this comic book because it's one of my favorites and it gives a lot of great backstory to Qui-Gon Jinn. It was written in 2019, but this comic is awesome, so let's go over it. So this comic starts out pretty action-packed with Obi-Wan Kenobi readying a ship as Qui-Gon tries to get away with this priestess as they're being surrounded by the warring tribe on their planet. And as Qui-Gon tries to get him out of this kind of mess that they're in with these warring tribes, because he's sent there, of course, to bring peace and have a peaceful solution. That's what Jedi are. They're guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. The priestess begins to boast and says, "You think that you can face the might of a Jedi warrior? You and your blasphemy will be..." And as Qui-Gon gets ready to leave, she's shocked that he's not standing there to fight. Now, if this was Anakin Skywalker, you know he would have stood down this army and fought. And Qui-Gon, just like a masterful Jedi, jumps up and eludes all of the people that are trying to shoot her and him, jumps into the ship with Obi-Wan. But the thing that's the most important part about this whole scene is what she says to Qui-Gon in his response to his retreat. "Strike them down with your lightsaber in the conflict." She says she will not be safe until everyone of the Metal Clan is dead, and so her resolution is to strike them all down with the lightsaber. While Qui-Gon, being the Jedi he is, says, "This is not the way of the Jedi." She again implores him with emotion and says, "You fought for me, you're on my side, you should be killing these guys for me." And Qui-Gon, being the Jedi again, guardians of peace, justice in the galaxy, says, "I defended your life." She calls him a coward. What will that trigger for Qui-Gon? We know Anakin Skywalker's response would be, "No, I'm going to go and take them all out for you because we're going to end this conflict now, and this is the way I know how to do it." But that is not the way of Qui-Gon. Yoda, then sensing something is really a little bit deeper stirring in Qui-Gon, goes to meet him at the Jedi Temple. And Qui-Gon's kind of up to it and says, "Hey, you didn't track me down just to hear my report." And this is what's really good about Qui-Gon that we get to see more of in this comic, is that he says, "No, Master, being called a coward isn't what bothered me. It was being called a great warrior." And here we're starting to see the folly of the Jedi during the Clone Wars when they became great warriors rather than guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. So this is it. Qui-Gon is sensing something is off with the Jedi, even in their home temple there on Coruscant, that they're seen as soldiers. They are not seen as they should be seen as guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. And so he feels that they have lost their way, and he's going to set out on this great mission. And this is one of the most Qui-Gon things he can do. He lets the Force guide him, almost just like he did in Phantom Menace when him and Obi-Wan were going through the planet's core on Naboo. He allows the Force to take him wherever the Force wants to take him. So he's guided to a place that was charted long ago, but no one really considered it important or have even a designation on it. There's no technology, but there is tons and tons of life. And then this is when he senses something else. There's some kind of corruption on the planet, and he senses it, and he knows he has to stop it or learn from it. And this is where Qui-Gon is given a vision of what could happen to the Jedi Order if they continue down this path of becoming great warriors rather than guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. He sees the demise of the Jedi Order and what he could become as well. Quickly snapping out of it, he realizes it was a vision showing him what could happen, and the most important thing that helps guide him for the rest of his life and his journey as a Jedi: balance. So as Qui-Gon returns to Coruscant, him and Yoda discuss some of the things that they found, which is more questions. They then have a very interesting and philosophical conversation about the Jedi becoming too rigid and how they need to find balance. And in the end, we see the purpose of Qui-Gon Jinn and why he was so important to Anakin Skywalker in the Phantom Menace, and how everything in the Duel of Fates hung in the balance for Anakin Skywalker, because Qui-Gon was the only one that could have helped Anakin understand that his purpose as a Jedi is balance. I hope you enjoyed this comic, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you want more of these, let me know down in the comments down below. But we're going to do this every Sunday. We're going to have Star Wars Sunday and do something Star Wars-y. So I appreciate it, guys. And remember, when in doubt, blow it up, baby.
Make sure to like and subscribe, or we will execute Order 66. Check out our other videos on the screen as well.
Yes, my lord. Blasters!